Welcome to AB&C Academy. My name is Ahmed Hossain. I'm the owner and the tutor of this particular institution. So basically this is a training place where I do train not only the kids but also the adults. Now there are many people who are working, there are many people who are students. Either be at workplace or be you a student, in both scenarios my videos will help you, will aid you, will make you write better. Now, when it comes to Cambridge International or even for IELTS or even someone who is actually preparing to go abroad, any situation you can use this type of words for your betterment. What it does is that it enriches your writing. It helps you write better. Now, what we have over here is composition transitional words. Now, addition is a word which means or an extra word. Other than using addition in each sentence, like for instance, I have a pen, or additionally I have a book. I have a rubber, additionally I have a sharpener. See, I'm using the word addition so many times that ultimately when a reader reads my writing, he or she, whoever the person may be, will look at me and be like, this person is amateur, this person does not know how to use good words or does not have a good quality writing. See, in a world where we live today, we have to be better, or we have to show we are the best at what we are or what we can be. Today I'm going to explain you or give you words that can actually help you write a little bit better than before. What you have to do is use these words as you go along. So I'm going to give you many words today. There's too many words, but you practice as many times as you practice, it's going to help you. The first word is addition. Now over here, addition means to give an extra word. Okay, so what you're doing is that you have two different sentences, you want to join them together. So you use certain phrases, such certain transitional words. So other than using addition, maybe once you have used addition, so in the next sentence that where you want to join two more sentences together, you can use also, you can use again, you can use as well as, you can use besides, you can use coupled with. So these are different words that you can use. Now addition is one word particularly which has different ways also you can use it. So there are the words given in this particular video. You should take your time, write them down, and maybe in a separate piece of paper you make sentences out of them. They will help you. The next word we have over here is consequence. Now consequence is basically something as a result or something that you want to say as an outcome. So maybe in one of your sentences you wrote the word consequence, that a person who committed some wrongdoing in a job place, therefore the consequence would be that he would get fired. See, I used the word consequence in a particular manner. Now what did I state before? That the word consequence means an outcome. Consequence itself is a pretty big word. Okay, it is a pretty big word. Now what are the words, or what other words can you use other than the word consequence? Accordingly, as a result, consequently, and consequence is pretty much the same, but it differentiates how you're using it. For this reason, for this purpose, hence, otherwise, so then, subsequently, therefore, thus, thereupon, wherefore. Remember, all these words will come into your helping, or it might help you the more you use them. The more that you use them, the better it will be for you. It will only help you and it will only guide you. Now, another word is generalizing. Now, generalizing over here, what it means is that you want to speak of something that is normal. It's something that you want to state in a very general perspective. For instance, as a rule of thumb, everyone should drink water. As a rule of thumb, our body needs water. Another word over here is as usual. As usual, he wakes up in the morning and he brushes his teeth. Rather than using generalizing or generally, I'm using the word as usual. For the most part of the day, the person drinks coffee or the person drinks tea. Generally speaking, I am a Bengali speaker. or I am an English speaker. Then there are ordinarily, usually. So you can understand that how I'm using the word generalizing or general in many ways that is necessary or that could be used properly, either be it professional or it could be a writing that you want to submit in the board exam, or even in IELTS, IELTS, which many of the Bangladeshi citizens or people who live in a country where English is not first language, rather more of a second language, they have to give a test either in ESOL or ESL or IELTS. So these words, keep them in handy. These are very good words that will help you and guide you if you practice them properly, if you practice them more and more often. Even also when you're writing simple text messages or simple writings to somebody, practice them. This will help you. When you're using them in your daily routine, you practice more and more, it'll help you. Now I have two special words over here, exemplifying and illustration. See, illustration means an example. Okay, it definitely means an example. However, exemplifying is kind of like an example, but it is not exactly like example. What it does, exemplifying means it's giving importance, or it's also showing that like chiefly, especially, for instance, in particular, markedly, namely. So these are giving a particular aspect. Rather than illustration, it's an example or a fact that you would derive from your real life situation. So other than the word illustration, you can use for example, which I know most of you are used to, is for example, for instance. But however, illustration, like I stated, it's a very big word. You can use it for instance, for as an illustration. Illustration is, you can see that mostly in physics sort of videos or sort of writings, you will see the word illustration. Usually professional writings are derived with this type of words. The next word that I will be talking about is emphasis. Emphasis means is giving importance to. Now you might have a lot of things to talk about, but you want to emphasize on, or you want to give importance to one particular sentence. At that time, you should be using above all, chiefly, with attention to, or especially, particularly, singularly. So what it does is that what you're doing is that you're segregating in a particular paragraph. You have written 5 sentences, or you have explained a particular situation in 5 sentences, but you want to make sure that your boss, or you want to make sure that the examiner looks into the statement that you have written afterwards. So you would use the word above all, or chiefly, or with attention to, or especially, particularly, singularly. Let's go ahead and look into more words. There's not the word similarity. Now, what does the word similarity mean? Obviously, similar is the word that it came from. Similar means same. It means two objects which are same. For instance, Coca-Cola and Pepsi both has sugar, right? So that is the similarity in between these two, is that they both contain sugar. So comparatively, Pepsi and Coca-Cola both has the same amount of sugar. See that if I use this type of words, what it does is that it enriches not only my vocabulary skills, but also it allows to the person, or it allows to show to the reader or to the listener that I know how to speak properly. I know how to use broad vocabulary, and I know how to use them properly. Therefore, if you're going to a second world country, at that time they will know that this person knows how to talk, knows how to write, knows how to use formal words. The importance is formal words. There are many informal words, but using formal words in the business area, or in your work area, or even in your university, or even when you're writing papers, are the most important part. Next word I'm going to talk about is exception. Exception over here means excluding. Okay, now what does it mean by excluding? Excluding means when you are writing a paragraph, for instance, like I stated before, when we were trying to show that we want to put emphasis on something, now we are doing quite the opposite. Now we wrote down a paragraph, okay? You wrote down 4 particular sentences and then you want to exclude a particular sentence of that 4 sentences and you want to make someone think about the 3 other sentences. So you would use the word exemption, or not use the word, this is the situation, exemption. You would use the word aside from. Let me give you a proper example. Ahmed Hossain drinks tea every day in the morning aside from breakfast. Aside from breakfast. So what I'm doing over here, I'm emphasizing on the tea part and I'm not emphasizing or I'm not giving importance to the breakfast part. So I'm excluding the breakfast and I'm putting more importance to what? To my tea itself. Like for instance, let me give you an example over here. Other than going into houses and going into coaching centers, Ahmed Hossain uses, other than, like I stated, I use the word other than, so other than that, he uses internet as a way of teaching. Let me repeat my example because the choice of words was a little bit off a little bit. So besides going to the coaching center, Ahmed Hossain also teaches over the internet or over through Facebook. So this is not a word that you can use. So there are more words other than aside from, bowing, besides, except, expecting, accepting, excluding. Exclude is the most is a word is the word that most of us actually, those who actually know English, would be used to it. Next word we have is restatement. Now restatement over here means when you are trying to say something in short. Obviously you know how to write a summary, or I would expect that you have heard the word summary. Now most of the time you will see, please summarize it. If there's a book or you have seen a movie that is 3 hours long, if you want to tell every single thing in detail, it would take either 2 hours, even 1 hour. Now, the person has only 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes. It's a lunch break. Now, you want to have a conversation. So what you would be doing is that you would shorten that story down. The 3-hour story, you would give a summary of it, or you would be restating the movie in such a way that you have briefed it or you have shortened it. So let's go ahead. In essence, in other words, namely, that is to say, in short, in brief, to put it differently. Contrast and comparison. They both almost means the same and also is the same. What it does is that they are not looking into the similarity of it, rather the difference of it. They are comparing a situation. They are contrasting a situation. So for the Cambridge students or for the IELTS students, when you will see something like compare and contrast, at that time, rather than using compare every single time or contrasting every single time, there are certain other words that you can use. For instance, by the same token, conversely, instead, likewise, on the hand, on the other hand, on the contrary, rather, similarly, yet, but, however, still, nevertheless, in contrast. See, rather than using contrast and comparison every single time, I can use all these other words, and this would enhance, not only enhance, but will develop my writing skills. Sequence. Sequence means serial. 1, 2, 3, 4. First, second, third, fourth. A, B, C, D. This is what I mean by sequence. Something that is one after the other in such a way that it falls in its places. So we can say sequentially he will be working. Now, for instance, you would be cooking a chicken, okay? So what is the first step? The first step is to buy the chicken, is to go to the grocery store and buy the chicken, right? The second step would be to cut the chicken down, to deskin it. Now, this is what I mean by looking into them. Now, at first of all, to begin with, in the first place, at the same time, for now, for the next time being, the next step, these are the transitional words that you would want to use. Now remember, all these words can be written in the middle of the paragraph. It does not have to be in the beginning. Remember, there's transition word and there's transitional word. I have been telling my students who I have been teaching in the coaching center to use this sort of words, and I have been making them practice by making them write sentences. Now, people who are watching my video, I would respect you and I would expect you that you use these words not only professionally, but when you are free, when you're texting somebody, use them. What it does is that it mentally prepares you to use them in a professional world. It allows you to not only use them properly, but also whenever you are thinking, okay, what is the next word that I can use? How can I make it more crispy? How can I make my writing a little bit more better? Or I can make it more enriched to the people who I will be submitting it to. Use this type of transitional words. It will help you. It will aid you. For instance, you're going up to a business meeting. The person wants you to send in either your resume, or you're a business owner and you are going to another business owner for a partnership deal or for a franchise deal. At that time, they will be looking for your business profile. And when you submit your business profile, if you're using regular words, if it does not have a proper writing, they're going to think that you are amateur and they will not invest into your business. So you learn how to use this type of words. It shows them that you know how to write, you are very professional, it will make you look sounded. Now, the next word is summarizing. Now, obviously, we were talking about it before. Summarizing is basically means shortening some stuffs up. Yes, in this particular words, there will be certain words that you can reuse, but that's the beauty of it. You can use a word in many different situations through the use of metaphor. Now, what does the word metaphor mean? Metaphor means one word can mean something else, or one particular sentence can mean something else. Remember, in poetry, metaphors are used mostly because they do not want you to state directly something, they want to make it more creative. So, when I'm saying that these are metaphors, when I'm saying that these are creative, where else can the students write? The students can write them in story writing or when they're writing stories. Well, for today, I will be expecting that my students, my beloved elderlies, or the people who are of my age, please use these words and practice them. Take a piece of paper, write those words down. In the next piece of paper, make sentences out of them. And in the next piece of paper, using those developed sentences, make paragraphs out of them. And then the next step comes in. When you have written the paragraph, go back, look at them, check them, and see if you can make any changes within or between the transitional words. Remember, if you write short sentences, it looks odd. But if you write long sentences and you can lengthen your sentences and properly explain something, it looks beautiful. And in the professional world, the beauty comes on how you explain certain aspects or certain things. That'll be all for today. Thank you for watching this video, and please come back and visit us at AB&C Academy for the next video that I'll be uploading soon. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.